So what's up, guys? So today, $289 off of 55 tickets and $104.55 on commission, and not really proud of my performance today. Overtraded, took some pretty big sides actually. At one point, I took 3,000 shares. Traded kind of poorly today, executed poorly. You can kind of tell based upon the amount of commission. So usually I try to keep it under 20%. The less the better. But when you're shooting at 50% rate, that's not good. So there's still room for improvement. So basically what I did here. So for CVS, it opened really down. So the stock gapped down today. And so I was thinking that it would fill the gap. So I was slightly long biased to open. Looked at the 15 minute. If you look at the 15 minute here, doesn't really tell you much, except that it was kind of long because it was holding this throughout the pre-market. It held this level, and in fact, it pretty much held this level the whole day, and then it made a reversal a bit. Which is what I was hoping for when I was trading the stock. It didn't materialize during my trade period. Eventually, it did. It went up to 64 or something. Ended the day up a buck higher. So I was long bias based upon the 15 minute. And if you look at the 5 minute here, let's see. Let me pull this up. So it's kind of messy here, but I started out with a long, and then I got stopped out. This is what happens. Let's start with the 1 minute first, actually. Easier to see that. So I went long. The reason for that is it held this level. Every time it bounced, there's this long wick. So, and it's like right near view up. So I went long, and then I stopped out. After that, I went short. It worked out for me. I covered some. And then I went short again. And then I covered on the way down. And the reason for this is because of this level. You see this is a SMA, so it typically holds that level. So I went short again, held it, that was fine. So I made some money on the short side there. Then I went short again here. Actually quite a heavy size. So I think 1,500 shares. Obviously this part didn't work out. So it bounced up and I had to cover. And then here I think I actually no, and then I went after I went short, I went long, so I covered and then I went long. Thinking that this stock now, because every time it hit the SMA, it bounced back. So at this point, I think I was taking 2,000 shares. So every time it hit the SMA, it kept bouncing up, right? So I was hoping for a run up towards the this SMA here before it bounces back or whatnot. That did not happen. As you can see, it started to lose this level. So it started here. This is the high. It never passed view up, and it started to lose it. So I basically stopped out for a pretty big loss here. Reversed my position for a short and started basically covering. So I shorted the entire time, and that's where I made my money back. On the 5 minute, let's see how that looks like. So here, as you can see, I saw this long wick, and I was thinking, okay, so now that it held this level for quite a while, higher highs, and I was anticipating this run up. So if I had caught it here and had a little more patience or time, I would have done this. So it's really about patience, this whole game. So because I had work, so I was really being impatient here. I could still have caught this level. This is a pretty good move, but this was I mean, in retrospect, if I took a small size, I would have stopped out. Like, there's nothing wrong with this position. It's just that I took my size was too big, because naturally when it has this strong, every time it sells off, it has a strong buying pressure. This is a very positive momentum. So if I had smaller size, I would have stopped out here, waited for it to drop. It would drop, see that this, there's a lot of buying pressure back up, and as it moves closer towards the this level, I would have held the position and then basically rode this wave up. Nothing wrong with where I saw the stock. It's just that the position size again is then you have a hard time exiting in time, and then basically you chop yourself up. And that's kind of what happened with the 450 in losses. Could have been a much better day without taking too big of a size. I would probably have ended up the same anyway at 289 or 300, somewhere around there. It's just that now I sustained too much commissions on this trade. So again, position sizing. So in retrospect, I'm not proud of the way I traded today. It turned out all right. I do have a lot more confidence in the way I'm reading the ticket, but position sizing, that's still something I need to work on. Position sizing and patience. But as you can see here, looking at the daily levels, 15 minutes, 5 minute, and the 1 minute really helps you gauge where the stock will ultimately go. But having smaller positions allows you to be more flexible in your entries and exit, so that you can really time the right move to take advantage of those bigger reward ratios and then exiting at a smaller loss. Anyway, so that's my recap for the day.